with it. Unfortunately, it's a reality.
And clearly, the alcohol beverages are flowing, right? I mean,
Yeah,
right there
cool.
back.
Usually
full,
that's
they full.
Or you
tilt,
just
they're
pregame
going,
and you're already
already
filled
lit
up
and feeling good about yourself.
But these are the classless, the tasteless, the disrespectful things that sometimes happen to athletes. And by the way, in Philly, it's the second time a fan has been ejected for interacting with Russ. Back in 2016, remember the guy gave double middle fingers talking to Russ. You had the situation in Utah where the fan was banned for life.
Yeah.
I'm fine with that.
Fine with what?
What are you
Oh,
fine
the
with?
double finger and talking crazy to me? I'm cool
Yeah,
with that.
double finger. The Utah situation was not right.
cool.
The Utah situation you would not be cool
no,
with.
I'm not cool with the Utah situation.
Yes.
The Philly in 2016, Jay, I'm good with that.
But you're not going to throw popcorn on me like
curse
I
at
am
me
an
all day
animal
long.
in a zoo. You know what I
Curse
mean?
at
Like,
me.
I'll be real with you. Like, that's what it has. Like, oh, you feel like you
It
can.
went deeper at Utah, obviously.
Obviously, Utah
that
was
Salt
very
Lake City
different
incident.
conversation.
He was using
Racist slurs.
racist terms
Yes.
at Russ.
Yeah, that's different,
and
though.
fans called him out, and that
Yes.
guy got ejected. But
Yes.
not only ejected, he also was
Got
banned for life.
while.
Right? Yeah.
And I'm okay with screaming and hollering, and you can call me whatever you want to. As I said yesterday.
No, you can't call me whatever you want to.
No, outside of the
outside
racial
of the-
stuff.
okay.
Obviously I take that out the
I
equation.
can call
We
you a
all know
bum.
that.
Not me.
But like,
I said like, Jay Will, you're a bum.
Yeah,
like,
all
that's
that.
just part of it.
You can tell me to go. You can tell me to go jump in the river, whatever.
How about if I start bringing your family into it? Does that cross the line?
It depends on what you're talking about with my family.
Well, that's what I'm saying. So it's not whatever.
Well,
it's not whatever.
you know what I'm saying, though,
I
Jay.
know. But like regular trash talk, if you attacking me or things that have happened to me, cool. You start attacking my family because people do research these days. People find out about information. Like there's certain lines that sometimes you're like, you're teetering that line.
Well, last night the Garden fans were chanting about Trey Young and his hair. Trey Young
That's
is
fine.
balding.
That's
Young's
fine.
balding.
That's
I mean,
fine. I
Trey
don't
deals
care
with
about
that all
that.
the time. I mean, it's
Like
kinda,
people look
You
up
don't
and
think
saw
he
that.
know he's balding?
Yeah,
I mean, he
He
knows.
knows.
That.
I think
Yeah.
he does. Yeah, but that's
didn't
the
stop
kind
him
of
from
stuff
dropping
that
30 on y'all.
Right, but you want to see like what can I do? What's going to bother him? What's going to get under his skin? Like that kind of
That's
stuff.
fine. I don't care about
But
that. Don't
Dumping.
touch me and don't throw anything
There you go.
at me or on me. You can say everything you want to say all day long. But when you decide that you are going to assault me, because essentially, even though it's popcorn, that is basically an assault. Basically. Okay? Now you get ready to get your ass whooped.
Russ was trying to get up there.
You're asking, as I said yesterday on our show, as the young man at the end of the show called in, and talked about it, and I had to explain to him, and me and Jay had to explain to him, that's not it.
Let me give context to that call. At the end of the show, we did during caller roulette, we had a caller who said that you should just be focused on your job on the court or on the field, and it shouldn't matter what people are saying. You should be so focused on the game and not what people are saying, which is, of course,
And this
you're
was in
not
reference-
a robot.
And this is in reference to the Trey Young
Yes.
situation a couple games ago
Right.
at the Madison Square Garden.
Right.
Jay, you know what I know. If you touch me
we're
or
throwing
you
hands.
throw something at me,
Throwing hands,
I'm going
Key.
to beat your ass if I get a chance.
You
Period.
could take me out where I came from, but you can't take where I came from out of me, right? And one of the things I always want to make sure that fans recognize, Ron Artest, Worldwide Pete, World Meta, whatever you want to call him, really good friend of mine from
Yes.
Queensbridge.
Yes.
Okay? And people always go back to this about, that the whole malice in the palace. Just trying to tell you, if you react a certain way, it doesn't mean that players can't react. Like there are repercussions for your actions. I'm not saying it's the right thing to do.
I felt
but I'm
like-
saying when it
I'm sorry.
happens, though, Alan.
Yeah.
Like for Russ if Russ could have gotten to him, Russ would have gotten
They
to
got
him.
him.
It's impulsive, and I don't feel it's fair that players are held to the standard of you should have self-control, but fans aren't. Right? That's the thing. It's the players blame. Like Ron in that situation, he was laying on the table. It was when the soda was thrown at him that all hell broke
reacted.
loose.
Yes.
And so it became, well, wow, he reacted the way, whoa. Something was thrown at him, and it triggered that. And so how is that his fault? Well, he should be held to a higher standard.
Well,
Whatever. But you mentioned Russ. Let's just get to this part, though. This is Russ after the game. Now, as you mentioned, Jay, you're right. He has had issues in the past with fans, altercations, things. One time where he actually tried to get into the crowd. He had to be held back as he's leaving the court in Philadelphia. He had an ankle injury, and he's leaving the game. He's going through the tunnel, fans all around above, and somebody drops popcorn from above the tunnel down on top of him. and he lost it. They had to hold him back. 4 guys had to hold him back from climbing up into the stands. After the game, he talked about the lack of respect.
Blatantly honest, man, this is getting out of hand, especially for me. The amount of disrespect, the amount of just fans just doing whatever the they want to do. It's out of pocket, man. It's out of pocket, seriously. Like, any other setting, I'm all for the fans enjoying the game and having fun. And, it's part of sports. I get it. But there's certain things that cross the line. And any other setting, I know for a fact that fans and they wouldn't come up and a guy wouldn't come on the street and pour popcorn on my head because he know what happened. A guy wouldn't come up to me and talk mess about my kids or family on the street because the response would be different. In these arenas, you got to start protecting the players, man.
Yeah,
No, he's 100% right, Alan.
But protecting the players includes what you're seeing in a lot of these arenas, which is an awning or something above the tunnel. For somehow there was a space where that fan was able to dump that popcorn. And as you watch the video, and we're showing on ESPN2, it is so meditated. There's no accident to that at all. He was holding it over, waiting for him to walk by, pouring it on him. The one other thing, and I'm sorry, I just want to make sure we have all the details. The fans around him immediately pointed him to security,
They should.
and they took his ass out.
And they should. Watching that video of Russ walk through the tunnel reminds me of when I was with the Carolina Panthers, and I went back to Tampa Bay, and we beat them, and I was walking through the tunnel, and 2 dudes threw beer on me. It reminds me of that. And guess what I did? I turned around and tried to get up in the stands. And if it wasn't for the security that was sitting there, a bunch of the security and some of our staff, I would have been in the stands, and we would have had what happened in the Palace. You don't do it. You don't have the right, because you buy a ticket to a game, to start acting a certain way. Like Jay Will said, we're not animals. The hell you think this is? I get fired up behind it because it pisses me off to see people act like that and think it's okay.
And then what happens, Key, is it's funny, athletes are held to that standard, like the athlete shouldn't react to what the fan has done. So I just want to give people insight to how intense it is being an athlete. So I'm asking Keyshawn to go out on the field and to be at high intensity level the whole game, to be the best of the best, right? So then when I'm in that mode, I'm in that mindset, like I'm seeing red to compete. Now something like this happens, you want me to turn that switch just off and dismantle that intensity and make a rational decision, a rational choice? I'm not in a rational frame of mind. I'm intense. It's hard just to turn that off.
Even if I was in a rational frame of mind.
I would go to an irrational frame of mind.
Like Westbrook said, you're not going to do that when I'm walking on the streets. I'm not in the game. You see me on the streets, you're not going to all of a sudden throw something at me.
Oh, no, I'm going to come up to you. Hey, Keyshawn, can I have your autograph? Can I take a picture with you?
Or you going to say nothing. You're going to say nothing. Or you going to do like the guy did yesterday when we left the studio, trying to take a picture from behind.
Yeah. Following us out.
Following us out. You're going to do something sneaky. It gets on my nerves to see that. And I can only imagine, and I'm not a big social media buff, but I can only imagine what people are saying on social media. I can only imagine.
It's well articulated by both of you because you both kind of experienced it. There's no doubt about it. And it is something that, like I said, it's always just the few. It's one person out of 15,000 that does it, and that one person makes everybody else look bad in the city of Philadelphia, a great sports town.
Look what I did.
Once again, a negative light on their fandom. 888-SAY-ESPN, 888-729-3776. Just about this. When you go to games, like that can't be what's on your mind. It can't be.
We're leading
You've
with
seen
that
it.
story.
What have you? Yeah. What have
We're
you
leading
seen?
with this story instead of talking about how crazy the intensity was last night.
Oh, sure.
At MSG.